Alright, most of you know we picked up SWM Speedy Working Motors as a franchise. So it's time to change the sign. Why am I telling you this? Well, because you get a chance to win our old sign. Push some of these out of the way and we'll get back there. This is my Mark II Matrella. It's a beautiful bike. Even has the correct oil pump and it's a true 500, water cooled. Oh, my friend wants me to sell it for him, but I got to make it run. He said I didn't have to, but we actually have one more mini bike to give away. To put in your man cave or woman cave. I don't want to nick it. Hang on. All right, hold on. I'll be right back with our new sign. There it is. Oh, wait. With that, we get new tees. Speedy Working Motorcycles. Made in Italy. So, if you actually look at their lineup, and here's a preview from EICMA, they have a great lineup.
In a world of small displacement cruisers that look big, this actually looks fairly small and is a Stormbreaker 1200. I'm sure somebody told me this was actually related to a Harley or another of the big American V-twins. We have a naked bike, and again, you know, really nicely designed, nice switch gear, nice dash. Yeah, not a lot of information about what this actually is. So here we have the RS 500R. You know, these are designed as enduro engines and enduro bikes, and SWM done it very well. We now transition into the similar bikes, but again in the Supermoto. So here we have the 125, the 125R. Here we have the Inter 650 with a lady who is showing it off. It's the only example I have on the stand. This is just one of 4 sidecar outfits they've got here. This is the SWM Urban 525, fully accessorized up with spotlights and luggage racks wherever you look, and even that passenger seat in the sidecar looks pretty good. So here we have the Versante 550, which is a 550cc parallel twin by the look of it. It's something a little bit different. It's called the SWM Super 6, and it is a 650 single.
No word yet on which one of those bikes are coming to the USA. We're gonna roll some of these out, and I'm gonna give you a quick shop tour. We haven't had a shop tour in a while. Then we're gonna give away, we're gonna give away all our old classic t-shirts, whatever sizes we have left. And some lucky subscriber is gonna get our old sign in the next video. First, let me get some of these out of the way. so we can do a proper walk around in the shop. This, by the way, is a brand new street legal Cove 450 Rally, the low version, brand new. I don't know if you can still get these anymore with all the tariffs coming in. Of course, we have last year's adventure bike. That was last year's project. We're on to this year's project. My Riehu. And of course, we have our own SWM Rally Edition that we built here with Bruno's help. We actually have one more mini bike to give away after we look at the shop. So this wasn't here before, this was on the lift. If you remember what was here last time, there was a Harley Davidson prototype 250 MX, which is now at a museum in Kentucky. This is a brand new first generation Cannondale. And yes, it's brand new. I bought it. It was slightly cannibalized for parts by another dealer who needed the parts to service the bikes that he sold when these were sold new. We got those parts. We did all the updates. This was actually sitting on the lift for the last year. So all the updates are done. It's brand new. Anything that has seen gas, oil, antifreeze, or brake fluid has been replaced. So even though it was brand new and it's still on the MSO, they did have it gassed up and run, and these things blow up out of the crate. So we did everything that you could possibly do to it. So it is now better than new first generation Cannondale. Why? I don't know. I guess because we can. Behind it, hiding, is a Bultaco Trackmaster El Bandito, which came out in the mid-60s. And it's a special Trackmaster frame that has brakes and shifts on the other side. This is well before the Astro, so that's sort of a thing. This is our custom Moto Guzzi, built by Dan Fruth, and you've seen some of his other bikes. You'll see them again. I got it from the Ice Cream Man from Hell, who is sort of a C-rated celebrity in his own right. Let's get rid of the sun glare. Here's the mini bike I'm keeping. No, I'm not giving that one away. It's not totally stock. I think it started out as a roadster, but it's a hustler now. This is our Montesa 250 Sport, also called an Impala. This was Montesa's answer to the Metrella, and I did a little short on it. We're gonna get that one going. We did a review on the bike next to it. Well, the other one that I have, see, I have two of these. This one is substantially nicer. These were 175 and 250cc Spanish road bikes. Next to a first year Triumph Trident. These were not well received when they were first made because they were kind of futuristic looking, but now people like them. This was one I got, and it was imported from Sweden. And we finally got the title work all straightened out. It's a runner, although I think the pilot jets are clogged. I gotta go, you know, the never-ending battle there. Behind it, a Rickman BSA Westlake with the big valve head and the big bore kit. And believe it or not, it has a street title. Next to a Greaves, think it's a TFS and not a Scottish, which I think is just basically their trials version with lights. Next to my 68 Bonneville. The gas tank is up there on the wall waiting for me to put it on. This is my, well, I call it a poor man's framer. It started out as an MX 400, and it still is, but it's been converted to twin shock, and it's seriously fast. That's my flat track practice bike, along with my Aerial Square 4, which is, well, I call it my poor man's exotic. I can't afford a Bruff Superior, so I can't afford a Vincent Rapide, so I got this. It's exotic, it's very machinery oriented, but it's a lot slower. This is one of my Van Veens. This one shows 300 miles, and I think it's a runner. We're gonna have to confirm that. The other one is, the door opened by itself. It's confused Bruno. The other one is going to EICMA in Vegas. We'll see how that does. That's another story. My 66 FL8s that we tried selling at our Bike Week online auction with iconic motorbikes didn't meet the reserve, so fuel's drained, and it's parked here in the back with the other two, a 68 and a 69. I think in reverse order. This is a Royal Enfield Series 2 Interceptor. I think it's one of the last 200 built. I've got a dating certificate for it. Next to a Zundap Super Sabre, and I know you're probably getting tired of looking at Zundaps. I know I got a couple of complaints about that. I show too many Zundaps. Next to another Montesa. I say this every time I show it to you. It's my favorite bike. This is my Scorpion. Not a King Scorpion. This was their dual sport. The King Scorpion came out later, and it's kind of heavy and slow and has a battery. And this is more dual sporting. So now I have that, which was 66. I have this, which was 66, and I have a Lacrosse in my other building, which gives me all three for 1966. This is my trophy trail. I think this is the better of the two, except someone put a double seat on it. That's an Ariel Red Hunter, 500cc single, which I need to get out and get going. My Triumph Thunderbird 6T with the bathtub. That's actually a very nice bike. Let me push some of these out of the way and we'll get back there. I'm just moving stuff out of the way so you get a better view. Here's a shot of my bathtub, and well, it doesn't look impressive, but boy, it's a nice bike, and look at that tool set under the seat. Doesn't get much more complete than this, except possibly this 500. That is absolutely original. Paint and everything. How about a Mark III Norton Commando? the electric start one. 1 year only. Next to another Triumph Trophy Trail. This one also didn't meet the reserve at last year's Bike Week auction with iconic motorbikes, and it's still here. You've seen my DT360, and you've seen that Norton, and you've seen that Zundap Bella. But let's go over, oh, here's one you didn't see. My BSA Hornet, which it's waiting for me to get. I've got to replace the bushing underneath the points cam so that it stays timed. It does run, but doesn't stay in time. This is what they did in 1969 with that Trident that people didn't like. They offered it with a beauty kit. This was an auction bike. I got it to rumble. Doesn't quite run yet, but it's close. It'll rumble. I'm gonna go through the carbs a second time before I get too anxious. We just heard that fire up. I have the carburetors apart again. Carburetors were leaking right here where these fittings go. They got little O-rings that probably got dried out, and they didn't swell up when I put gas in them. They're not available from Suzuki. You'd think if they gave me the right O-ring, I could just replace them. But they repop all the fittings, all 3 fittings for 15 bucks. So that's what we're gonna do on that Suzuki. Then we're gonna get the other Suzuki out, if we haven't done so yet. You've seen the Greaves. 1, 2. That's my control bike. My blueprint to get this one going. Behind it is a row of other bikes that are so close but not quite. I need to clone myself or find someone who's willing to wrench for me, even an apprentice. There's a 200 Persang. It runs, but it needs a going over. I bought it, it was a runner. I just wanted to go over it once, and I haven't. It's been sitting there for 3 freaking years. Next to my Osa from Hell, which I bought a vape ignition for. I think it's a vape. It runs, but it starts really hard, and well, I think the motoplat is weak, so I got an ignition. There's a 250 Matador, street titled, waiting. My gold medal, that was a bit rougher than I expected when I got it, and it runs now, and it's titled. I want to get a head that doesn't have the fins cut off from it. The gold medal was a rare bike. It was basically, I think, a Mark 11 Persang, left unsold. So over in Europe, they changed it around a little bit, hung lights on it, and painted it gold and made it a special edition. I was just talking about this Cooper. Apparently that ignition is common to a lot of the Harley SXs. So I can probably get the ignition, but I can also get a aftermarket ignition for it. And the cylinder is, well, a copy of a DT250, or shall I say more correctly, DT1. We should be able to get that going when I have time. This is another bike I wanted to run, one of those cross Florida tours, but I couldn't find a desert oversized fuel tank for it. Apparently is this a Mark III Rickman Matisse? I forget, it's been a while. I have an oversized tank for the earlier style frame, but not this. It's a great bike, it's beautiful, and maybe it's just gonna stay that way. I'm gonna try something different with those mounts. I got these, there's a name for those clamps with a mounting post in it. I forgot, but I got them in stainless. We're gonna try that. Clutch plates are stuck and they won't unstick, so we'll get to it. Speaking of Matrellas, this is my Mark II Matrella. It's a beautiful bike. Even has the correct oil pump and the 3 petcocks. But, well, it's not quite numbers matching. It's off by about 200 digits, frame and engine. Don't know the story there. Don't care. You've seen this Bultaco Matador. It's been sold. Here's a picture of it. It's going to Tennessee. Next to my Persang 250 practice bike. 2 streakers. I have a third one, a white one in the shop. This, by the way, is my Bultaco Row. Here's a Matisse, Model 11. Here's another Matador, just like that shiny one. I kept this one because, well, I can drive it in the mud. Next to my Sherpa S. We got to get that blue Astro out. That's a Derby Senda Astro. Bultaco Astro made by Derby. Special edition. Next to my El Montadero, which is the dual sport version of the El Bandito, of which there are 2 El Banditos next to it, and 2 Hercules behind that. Those are new leftovers next to the one that didn't start. And I've got to drag this out. This belongs to a buddy of mine. It's a blue Mako 500, 1990. In fact, I'm going to get this Hercules out of the way so you can look at that. Ooh, the company got sold by the Mace family. Oh, was it to an outfit in the UK or was it in the Netherlands? I don't remember. It's a true 500, water cooled, upside down forks, mono shock, rear disc. This is a fully modern Mako. I guess it's the ancestor to that big giant 700 that Zabel makes now. My friend wants me to sell it for him, but I got to make it run. He said I didn't have to, but we should. It was in his house. The fluids are drained. Nothing wrong with it. I had reproduction decals made, and if you're interested, give me a shout. Otherwise, we're gonna get it up and do a video on it. Behind here, this is an English Enfield. It's why I always stop to look at them when I see them at the shows, because I was restoring this one. I'm 90% there, and I got to get it out and finish it. I got a leak in the primary drive, and I got to do the wiring. And that's what it's waiting for. Next to another Bultaco. This belongs to the same gentleman that has the blue Mako. Now, I think these were actually red and yellow, but this is painted to replicate the Jim Pomeroy Works bike. So, you should not be offended by that paint. It's actually pretty neat. 370, the real frickin' fast reed valve updated motor in that. Next to another Hercules. Oh, and we missed that Indian hiding there. That's a real Indian, 51 Roadmaster, formerly owned by Auto Link. Oh, I guess I didn't get quite everything. This Kawasaki belongs to a friend of mine who's working on it. I'm letting him use the lift, but it's next to ta-da! This Kawasaki that I have to get started on. Need to clone myself. Is that it for this building, other than looking at the walls? Those are, you've seen this before, those are brand new, mostly new old stock Hercules parts. That's mixture, and that is mostly Bultaco stuff. That's all Hercules stuff and some used motors on the top. Snowmobile motors. Oh, and the corner Cannondale stuff. All right, well, let me get back to work. That's the quick tour. Where'd Bruno go? Oh, there he is. Okay, so we are now ready to give away our mini bike again. Here's what I did. I had our winner of the last mini bike pick a number, and he picked number 34. Russ, 776B as in boy. He says, vintage riders love vintage bikes. It takes us back to where we were happiest. So, Russ, give me a call, drop me an email. Let's figure out how to get this old blue mini bike to you. And we'll figure that out. If not, we'll go down the list. Anyway, speaking about lists, I've got lots of t-shirts to give away. Since I got new t-shirts, I'm going to start giving away the old ones. And we're going to start with some of our older reproduction. Oh, I almost couldn't say that. Reproduction shop shirts. And we do have some classic Bullpen cycle shirts left, but that's only in size 2XL. So if you're 2XL, pick one of the classic Bullpen Cycles t-shirts. I have some in blue and some in red. We're not giving away our brand new SWM shirts yet. We'll do that when we have an SWM event or something. But we are giving away other t-shirts. So let's try to do that. Oh, you know what? First, let me do this. And I don't know what to do about these. Let me read some of these other comments to you first. I don't know if I should make these winners because I find them so aggravating or what, but I'm going to read them to you. Let's see, some of these are older, but I get these, here, you get the idea. This was to my email. It says, please show more Harleys and Indians. Here's another one to my email. You ignored all the Japanese bikes. That man is a Honda Yamaha dealer. Disrespectful. He's talking about the museum tour, which the first bike I showed, well, the first 3 bikes were his old Hondas, and then I followed him around the shop. But anyway, on this one, Dave, you walked literally right past every single bike I wanted to take a look at. I was screaming at the screen. I missed the pre-80s Yamaha YZs and Suzuki RMs, but also I missed the Kawasaki's and the Hondas. Here, I'm dying as he walks by a rare KX250 Kawasaki. Dave, you owe your viewers an explanation of why you avoid BMWs. Dave, you skipped the BMWs. Dave, you were sifting through all the Barber garage sale and you avoided all the BMWs. I can't believe you passed over that red Honda 305 Dream. Dave, I wish you would never ignore the Hodakas and the Indian two-strokes. Oh, I can't even read that one. Hang on. I'm going blind. Oh, here it says, why, when you see a Harley, you just walk by without saying anything. You walked right past 2 Sprints and Ermakis. As usual, Dave ignores all the 2-stroke Yamahas and concentrates on the run-of-the-mill Hondas and Zundaps, and so on and so on and so on. You know, on these swap meets, sometimes I show 4 hours, 3 episodes, 4 episodes, 2 episodes, and I still miss bikes. It's gonna happen. Can't show them all. Anyway, I'm going to pick one of those and give them a t-shirt, even though they aggravate me. And I don't know which one I'm going to pick. We're going to do it this way. Who is this guy? What did he say? I can't believe you passed over that red Honda Dream. Okay, that was a comment to one of the barbers, and I show a lot of Dreams. But anyway, that goes out, and I'm not even sure, what is this? Yayusugi? Jiyushugi 1085. Okay. I hope you're stateside that I don't have to ship a t-shirt to Japan. Sometimes I can't ship these things overseas. They wanted $75 to ship one to Australia. So, I mean, but if you're stateside, or if I can somehow get you a shirt, we'll get you a shirt. You get to pick a shirt here. We have these Makos from an old Allentown dealer that doesn't exist anymore. These are XL. We have our Pennsylvania National Motocross, and that was the schedule. In 1976, that was a real event, a real shirt. This was a real place. BJ Cycle. They sold Montesa and Can-Am. What a pair. And this was the shop that started it all for me. The Cycle Shack was a Moto Marini Bull Taco dealer in Pennsylvania. Pick a shirt, those are XL. Or you can go with 2XL if you want a Bullpen Cycles t-shirt. Let's find some more winners. Here it is again. Okay, this one goes out to a frequent commenter. I don't know, Red Tobert hates handles. It almost looks like Robert hates handles, but it's Red Tobert hates handles. He writes, the Honda Hawk twin engine has 2 intake valves and 1 exhaust valve. That's why they go so well. I thought that was helpful, and pick yourself a t-shirt, and let's find a couple of other winners here, and then we will move on. All right, this one goes out to Joe Zednick 3197, who responded when that video that I fell down unloading the AJS. He writes, "Wow, Dave, thumbs up. You left that ramp disaster in the video. But you did scream like a girl," and you know, actually I really did. And I noticed it too. And that video, you can't tell, but I actually turned the volume down so it wasn't so obvious that I screamed like a little girl. Then you laid your face down like you were shot. Well, you know what? I saw myself falling and thought I was really going to hurt myself, so I screamed pretty loud. And then I guess I was just evaluating the situation. But anyway, Joe Zednick 3197, pick a shirt, give me a call, drop me an email, whatever, we'll get it out to you. I'm just going to pick another. I'm going to scroll down and pick this guy. This is VF1100. I'm scared of those ramps sliding off. Keep your foot on it. Da. Yeah, okay. You get a shirt, and that's all I have to say about that. But let's give away one more t-shirt, and we'll give the rest of these away in future videos. This goes out to 48 Black Shadow, and I wonder what kind of bike he has. He says, "Hey Dave and Bruno, love your channel. I attended the preview and the auction for the Steve Dance collection. I came home with 4 bikes. Pretty nice collection. Luckily, it was only a 15% buyer's fee when you bid there in person." That was the Jerry Wood auction of the Steve Dance collection, and it seemed like the online stuff went for a lot of money. And I was listening to that after the Cycle Den auction was over, and boy, that auctioneer, he liked to talk. 48 Black Shadow, drop me a line, pick a shirt, and we'll get one off to you, and we'll be giving the rest of these away and maybe some other prizes in an upcoming video. And oh yeah, our sign. We're going to be giving our sign away. You get that sign, and we'll do that after we get back from the auction. But you've got to be a subscriber. So subscribe, drop a comment, and maybe you win a prize.